you spent a lot of time at SoCal Pro, and you actually were gone before, because I started there in 2015, and so you weren't there when I was there. But as far as you kind of moving up and getting other bookings and kind of getting out there, branching out to other promotions. This is just for me. I'm trying to learn right now. Can you give me a little bit of advice as far as like, how you get out there and how you do that? You know what I mean? It's like, smart me up is what I'm trying to say. I mean, one, I know not be a shit wrestler, Devin. I know that.
Hey, that don't matter. That don't matter. It doesn't matter if honestly, it does not matter if you're a shit wrestler anymore. And I don't know if it ever did. If the people want to see what you're doing, whatever it may be, I mean, you're gonna get an opportunity. Nowadays it's crazy. Guys will. I was just talking to my buddy Brody King about this the other day. He was saying guys will literally get booked for one move that a promoter saw in a dip. Like, hey, I want you to do that out there tonight. Like, that's it. Just go do your thing. And Brody explained it as being like, hey, that stand-up comedian has those really good couple zingers, and we just hope the rest of his set's not terrible. That's how he put it, and that's right. So it's not even about necessarily being good. Ideally, we should be good. But
why'd you look at me like that?
That was fucked
up. No, it's just. It's getting that no. It's so dumb. But like, I was a musician before, and like, you just get told no all the time, and you have to just keep eating those no's. Email, update what footage you're sending. Like for me, I had a really hard time because like I would have my be so into one match, and that's the match I'm going to send. But you can't really send it for that long, because then it's, well, shoot, this guy hasn't had a good match since like last July. That's not a good sign. So make sure you're always updating what you're sending. Quality is key. Keep it short, show that you can, be entertaining in 6 minutes. If it takes you 15 minutes to tell a good story, then they're certainly not going to give you a shot, because you're probably going to get a chance in the opening match, and you're probably only going to get given 6 to 8. So you need to know that you can hit all your A+ stuff. And I don't mean get all your shit in, although nowadays I do mean that. And that's something I suffer from, is no longer doing that. I used to do that. I put up highlights of me versus Peter in a singles match at PWG. I put those up the other day, and everyone's like, oh, where's that Yuma? I was like, oh, where is that Yuma? I just stopped making sure I got all my shit in, and it was probably a mistake, because that's where we're at nowadays with wrestling. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, that's subjective. But, doing a lot of cool stuff is what is cool right now, or a really cool, unique character. You look at all these guys like Warhorse and Danhausen, like they're something. You don't look at them and say wrestler. Oh, didn't you just smoke one of them in a promo thing, Devin?
Both of them.
Both of them.
And we have Devin. He's the shits. But
thank you.
But yeah, honestly, and then for I've been a lot of places, I've done a lot of things, and it all came from persistence. It's corny. If you ask your next guest, they're probably going to say the same thing. There's no magic trick. There's no, there's a couple ways to word things that I have learned firsthand work better. Your verbiage is really key. The way you talk to somebody is important. Words like spot. Nobody wants to hear that. Spot? What is a spot? Like a stain on the carpet or an opportunity? You got to choose your words when you're reaching out to promoters, especially if they themselves are very serious professional business people. You don't find a lot of that in wrestling, but the places you want to work are going to be the places that respond to professional language. So that's always something you want to do. So it's, use professional language, be persistent, and make sure that your footage looks good, and you're not putting anything out there that doesn't look like A+. Like me, I'll think something's hot, post it, and then I'll see it get 4 likes, and I'm like, oh, that must be shitty, because it has a bunch of views, but only 4 likes. Let me get rid of that. You don't want to leave too much stink where people can see it, because it might seem really cool in that moment, or you might think that looked really good, but then maybe someone on Monday Night Raw did it 10 times better. You never want to look lesser, and you never want to remind other people or somebody else. You don't want to make the fans think of somebody else, you know? Even when it's a compliment, you still want them to be thinking about you. That's just something that I'm trying to remember who taught me that. But they were like, don't remind someone of another wrestler because now they're thinking about that other wrestler. Those are just the things that have really stuck with me. And, I think I've done an okay job applying that advice. And, I'm always happy to pass it on because, what worked for me should work for any other wrestler ever, honestly.